bitches.
It's brunch time.
My name is Litzy B.
I'm Leah Pettibone.
And we're back.
We're back.
Oh, it's so good to be dead again with you, Pettibone.
I missed you.
I missed you too.
I missed you all. Cheers.
Season 2. Season 2.
2023.
2023. And we did the math. We tallied. We counted the numbers. We looked at the spreadsheets. We reviewed the records. And this is our 30th episode. Can you believe that? I don't know. I am proud of us. Thank you, everybody who has been following us, supporting, sharing the stream, interacting with us on our Instagram. We appreciate you all so much, and you guys have made an amazingly fun, wicked time. So, gosh, it's good to be back. So, it's our first episode back, and we're going to get in the groove of things. I know we said we were going to do this live, but we're testing out some new software, some little tricks, and trying out some new things for you guys. So we will be live on the next episode after that. So, you know, I guys hope you guys enjoyed that. That was weird. That was
loving.
That was loving. That was like cutesy. That's not
okay.
bad. That's not bad.
You can be dead and cute, right?
I suppose. That's like the people who are like the dark Disney. Like that's a real aesthetic vibe. It's like, I still like Mickey, but he's black.
I dig it.
Yeah, it's cute.
With the not your typical Disney ears with like the bat wings and the gothic shit. Yeah.
A little gothic. I think it's cute.
I do too.
I think it's fun. It's a good vibe. There needs to be diversity. You can like both.
Dark Disney.
Dark Disney. Well, you know, it wouldn't be Dead Bitches Brunch unless we were having some brews. So, bitches and brews to you tonight. Ooh, she's so thirsty. She's been 6 feet under. It just came up, you know, crawled right up to the bar for her drink. So, cheers
just that
to you, my friend.
Extra little boost for being resurrected. This is what we need.
So yeah, it feels strange to be back, but it feels really good. The time off was great. You know, taking time for yourself, taking time away from social media. It's good. It's good to take those breaks. I did almost 30 days sober for January, dry January. That's what it is. Almost went there, so that was a good like little break, just kind of like refresher, rezone yourself on those things. So yeah, remember folks, take time for yourselves, take time to be present and in the moment. It's important. And then it was nice. We've been planning. I'm telling you guys, the episodes that we have coming up for season 2, it is just, it's a knockout. Like, I am so excited for you guys to meet the new guests and artists and creators that we have coming on.
So good.
It's good, and we're bringing on just different shit that you're not seeing kind of out there being promoted as much. So I think it's gonna be a dope time. I'm getting distracted by our background music. You folks are trying out new things.
You know, like I love the background music. It maybe be distracting a little bit, but it does remind me of like Mary-Kate and Ashley's Magical Mystery Mall video game. Did you ever play that?
No, I didn't. I didn't even know that existed, but I did love some Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Oh my gosh, yes. They had this game. It was like a video game for, I think, the first PlayStation, or maybe it was PS2. But yeah, it was like Magical Mystery Mall. You go and you try and close, and then there's like a food serving, but it had that sound in the background, and it's, you know, good times. So
good times on there. Yeah, we're figuring out our levels here and stuff. Figuring out microphones. So, you know, hey, we're crossing into new territories. We also have our full-time now producer kicking it back there. You'll be seeing more of Gravity Bleeds pop up through our shows, which is awesome. Because then it allows me to kind of sit here and focus and be able to interact with you guys and our guests a little bit more and not have my ADHD kick in when I'm looking at another monitor trying to find things to pull up. That was really cute on season 1. Sure.
You did way better than I ever could have done. This would have been me like,
Also doing this without my glasses, which I need to see on a computer. So yeah, it was a little bit of like the Special Olympics of season 1, but we got there. Now we're here. What do you think of our fresh new look? Let us know. You're going to be seeing more things come out with this new look. I love the deep purples of it. We're doing some different fonts on here. Gravity Bleeds. Yeah, I know I'm biased, but he killed it, and I don't think anybody would disagree with that. So,
love it.
It's so good. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring on this episode, or tonight's guest, and we're going to do a little kind of get to know us here. You're also going to get to see some really awesome, dope shit that this artist has coming out. So, without further ado, our executive producer and artist, Gravity Bleeds. And we're flagged. No.
Yeah. There's nothing sexy about this, people. Don't worry.
I'm sexy.
Oh, hey.
Bitch. Ain't I sexy?
Oh,
Want to take a ride in my Lexi? Well, I ain't got a Lexi. I got a taxi. Get the fuck in it, floor it, and pay for it, bitch. Gravity Bleeds.
Spitting that shit right off the bat. Cheers to that.
cheers.
Bitches brew like witches brew. Let's all right. Ba, 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 ba. I have the power now, guys. So if you want me to say anything embarrassing behind the scenes to everyone, you can text me during the shows, and I can throw up banners like that. And I can go, yeah,
Noted.
I am sexy.
Not sexist, sexy. We change it back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
This will be a fun ride.
Buckle up, bitches.
Buckle up. So, as you know, I mean, and not only were the dead bitches kind of hibernating a little bit, taking some family time and working on a bunch of things behind the scenes, Gravity Bleeds, you were busy.
So busy.
You've been making some monsters. Some ghouls.
I see a little something peeking back there.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yes? Okay. Wait a second. Hold on.
Oh, no, there is some dope shit out available now at Philbrix.com. We still have a storefront here on Etsy, but any new masks and merch from Gravity Bleeds is going to be at Philbrix.com. Ooh.
Ooh, look at the lace.
Ooh.
Lace that shit up.
What's up, ladies? I'm here to chow some box.
Legit, one of the creepiest masks that you have concocted.
For sure.
It's it's amazing. It's not like anything else I've seen you do before. And I was skeptical about this sculpt while he was creating it. Ooh, what's this?
Oh, maybe we'll get back to that.
We'll get back to that.
Yeah. Funny story on that mask. So, I'll give away everything to you guys. I'm working on this make a monster type thing. So I've been making fingers, different horns, different mouths, different, just heads. So I want to do a thing where I'm going to make some different heads, different skins, and customize them. So that's kind of one of my master plan things I'm working on for mid this year. So people can come in and kind of build their own monster from the website. But I want another head, a skull head, and that's where, like, this anatomy man, because I love anatomy. I've always studied anatomy and things like that. And I kind of just had a skull thing going. And I'm like, what do you think? I get kind of excited about it halfway into it, right? Like, what do you think? She's like, well, I guess it's fine if it's just a skull for, like, the head that you're doing for the monster thing. Then it's like, then I guess it's kind of cool. And I'm like, oh, kind of cool, huh, bitch? I'm fucking... So...
In my defense, this was, like, very early on. And I will admit it fully, sometimes I don't have the vision in my mind that he does. Also, I'm a very dry person.
Never.
I'm not always intoxicated as I am on this show.
Well, and I'll work through these things. So when I'm sculpting something, I'll, like, rough it out day one. I'll add in the form, and then I'll add some details and shit on day 2. And then day 3, I usually have to finish it. And then I'll go in and kind of carve out some more details and whatnot. So I'm kind of taking breaks, taking photos, kind of analyzing it and whatnot. There was a guy out there from a super awesome group that we all love. I was looking for something like that too. So I wanted to do a test of something that would still be performance-wise, still kind of work, kind of tighten like that. I've also did some work for Morgan from Clockwork E and made him an alien mask. He has some gray ones. I made myself a Tommy knocker here. Tommy knocker, get in my toe. Tommy knocker. So, and was doing that same kind of thing, working with those strings, tying the head together and whatnot. And yeah, it worked out great. And the sizing was pretty perfect. So I've also extended the neck a bit more. So that was something with this dry January that we were doing. Is I did a sculpt every week for the first 3 weeks, getting 3 new characters out and trying to just fix little things from before. So when Bill asked and said maybe he wanted a full head mask, and I had done the kind of Frankenmeyer's one. But that was bugging me because the neck wasn't down far enough. It came up pretty high in the back of the head. It was kind of high on top. So I'm kind of working on mastering that size, form, and fit. And with that one, kind of making sure there's enough chin room to move the chin up and down, even though I don't really have a chin. That's why I rock the goatee, because I don't have a chin. But
living like it's 1999.
Yeah.
They say, give me head, and you just follow suit. But I love the way that it looks when you move your face, and it looks like the mouth is actually moving with it. Like it's actually, you just ripped all of your flesh off, and that's what's underneath, and it's just moving. It's good.
So, and I'm working on, just thinking about customizations for people. I could easily take these teeth out and add other teeth in, or add stitching here. Cutting this part off and adding different bottoms, or doing different layers of things. So also, this is part of, if you guys haven't seen this, I should talk about this whole 23 Demons thing I have going on. So 23 has been my number. If you guys have a number, do you guys have it like a number or a lucky number or a power number? Hippie bitches call them like their spirit numbers or some shit. Yeah,
Absolutely.
What's your number, Pettibone?
It's 23, bitch. Jordan.
Shit.
I totally thought you were going to say 13.
No, yeah. 13 and 23, they go hand in hand, but yeah. 23 longer.
Yeah. Do you have a bunch of correlations with 23? So, like, for me, yes, Jordan is my favorite basketball player.
Mine's
Still
also
about
just
100 of
Jordan,
his
for the
cards.
record.
I still have about 100 of his card stash. But my daughter was born on March 23rd. So there's
No
that.
shit.
First house we moved into in St. Cloud was 23 Fairfield Lane. My birthday is 5/28. 28 minus 5 is 23, right? And I used to have a few others that I made up and would try to pretend, but there was a thing with 2023 hitting, and this is my year. This is our year.
Horns up to that.
Yeah.
Dead bitches and bloody bricks is bleeding bloody bricks into dead bitches.
You know, maybe even Michael Jordan will come back this year.
Never know.
If not, hopefully at least Dennis Rodman, because I love him too.
Yeah? Oh shit, more on that later, huh?
Dennis Rodman is one of my like 5 idols, so yes.
Not surprised. Not surprised.
Some other things I haven't really showed anybody else yet. Well, the Alien is one of them. Been working on this hog mask for quite a while, evolving this, trying some different things even on the inside. I'm putting in foam, got the adjustable straps, still see cutting pieces in, having this 2-piece thing here.
So many pork rinds went into that.
He did have me recently purchase a very large bag of pork rinds from Sam's Club, so that may have fueled this.
Oh shit! That looks awesome.
Yeah.
So
I look cross-eyed right now. That makes it even better.
that's amazing. I love it.
Couple miles. Also doing some things where one strap isn't elastic. So these ones aren't stretchy, so they get a tight fit. And then doing some dual straps, maybe the top one, for more of a performance style mask. That one's not stretchy, but doing a second chin strap that is with the elastic, but still with the elastic bands and whatnot.
Yeah, I could see Joe Black appreciating that.
Yeah, I got to hook them up with one of those. When they were wearing the first set that had these adjustable straps, I saw he must have had a strap hanging way down because he must have tried to get it as fucking tight as possible. And the one was just like a string hanging down his face. It was still coming off his chin.
Yeah, I saw that. I was kind of wondering. I'm like, man, that mask has to be like so tight on him, because I think it was when he was wearing the Slimer. It was a really thick one, and so the mask itself was already like a thick core of a mask, so that makes it stiff and less flexible. And then he has a thing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, either like he's cutting off circulation or else he has a very tiny head.
Probably both.
Probably both. It like aids the performance high, like having the constraint.
Oh my god, Joe just passes out on stage.
With the beard, and the lack of chin, and performing and just talking a lot, you need that extra support there. So, been working on fixing that problem as well. Comatose reached out to me for fixing his and hooking his mask up like that. I don't know if you guys listen to him much, but Comatose with a K does a lot of pumpkin, Halloween, horrorcore music, has some pretty good shit. Comatose, Eat Me Some Guts is a Beck sample, so that one's cool. He bought a pumpkin mask from me last year and then incorporated it into a shirt design. I think he wore it on stage as part of his Halloween performance. So, working on that performance aspect. Now I've touched Master Clockworky, SON, Dean, AXE, Fun Time Guys, Comatose. And I think that's it. And all those guys except Comatose are coming up and performing sometime here soon. So I'll be there in spirit. Motherfuckers, you're never gonna escape me now.
Getting it.
And then is it Jonathan Hellhouse from All the Horror? He shared recently too the mask that you made. Boy,
I saw that.
Man, talk about having to keep a secret for a long ass fucking time. It's such a minimalistic mask, but it's so dope and it's so clean, and it just kind of takes away the humanity from the wearer. So it's so cool, and it's so many times we wanted to like take a picture with it here or there because we just have one in Brandon's personal collection, but.
And it looks so much different than anything that they've worn so far too, so it definitely stands out.
Yeah
and yeah, hooked him up with a few different variants, and that's something that he paid to have that exclusive to him, so I'll never release any of my own variants, versions, anything like that. So that's kind of part of these deals where I do a custom sculpt for somebody. It'll be, you want exclusive rights or shared rights. They can own some variants, resell them themselves. So a lot of people ask me about this. So when I get out there, like, those are kind of the two options. And the one, like, if you want your own mask that you want to sell, I never make and never resell, then, that's a bit more to have those exclusive rights to that, as opposed to kind of sharing it, where like the dude from Morgan from Clockwork, Mo Business, still have his, and I can produce some for him to resell or for performance if he wants. But I'm still going to be able to play around and do some of my own versions and place and make some more Tommy knockers. So because late last night and the night before, Leah,
you were watching Tommy knockers.
Tommy knockers.
At my door. See, so they never listen.
Went to my buddy's house. He has a new baby, and she is 6 months or something like that. And I was doing that Acid Witch Slasher Dave song with the Tommy knockers.
Aww.
Metal style to her, and she'd love it. She'd be giggling, Late last night and the night before, Tommy knockers knocking at my door.
That is such a precious little lullaby.
Here's another one of something I'm going to be doing. These fucking buckets are so amazing. You're hooking all y'all up with buckets. But I'm going to do some foam just to make them look gory for these full head masks.
Awesome.
Perfect holders for them. So.
I love it. Something different. Something more than just a fucking foam head. You know what I mean?
And the foam heads are always so small too.
Yep.
So you have to like build it up with bags too also. So
grocery bags and trash bags and all this fucking bullshit.
Yeah. And then this next thing, so on the mask holders, I made this thing called the Face Eater. And because, it's making all these masks, it's hard to, it pains me seeing people hang them by a strap or hang by a nail, and then it gets flattened. And, it's important to keep that shape. So it needs to be something round. And so again, in comes the bucket. I've cut these off. I've used just, the plain bucket, spray painting them, put a hole through them, hang them on a 3M strip. Those work great. I'm like, how can I take that to the next level? Well, that's Face Eater. And these motherfucking things are sweet. I got to show you. You want to see a little video clip I made making them?
Yeah.
Yes.
All the baby powder.
Must get these it's hot. Eyes above, so low.
Ha! Silent me!
New cipher. Oh Lord, may these demons exit his body right now.
This was yet another progress.
I rebuke you, Beelzebub, Lucifer. The body of Christ compels you. The body of Christ compels you. The body of Christ compels you. Shit! The fuck was that? Fuck it. Let's do this.
There it is. Oh shit! I'm gonna show you that. Look at that. Look at that. So,
That's
yeah,
perfect.
that's
I could
other-
just cry.
Hey, it's me again. So that's the other cool thing with these is you can use them. And here's my devil man. But as you know, to just play around for your different photo ops. Maybe you want your mask to have some crazy googly eyes, huh? Oh look!
Hey.
I got another mouth in here. Wait, I should change my view. Haha.
That's genius.
Yeah. So that was cool with these and fucking just making them look crazy as shit. And since you already saw the new Dead Bango, so this started also inspired by the guy who wanted a version, his own custom color scheme created his set, and these fucking turned out just
So good.
It's sick. I love how it's still Bango, but it's just to the next level.
Mm-hmm. So much more corroded and just
Yeah.
decomposed.
Ooh. Bango Skank is dead.
And that neck bone is just hanging, bro.
Man, them worms are hungry tonight.
yeah. So being bald and sweaty here like this. It's been a busy December. That you've seen fingers. Pettibone's got some fingers.
Yes.
Well, here's some uncut fingers. I'm still
Ooh.
working on trying to master that. So
No,
So
it's
much good shit.
yeah, it's good shit. And it's only that's only what you come out with in January. So this year is just gonna be absolutely
Explosive.
it's gonna be so good. So
and with
congrats.
these pieces, so like I said, I have so many body parts and appendages and teeth and different sets of fingers. The fingers have been kind of a bitch. So I fingered TJ out there in the chat. Everyone, put your fingers up for TJ. Maybe one of these.
We recorded. We don't have a chat.
TJ got one of my first legit sets of 10 fingers, so I could get this fucking super sick shirt made by Leah Pettibone, long sleeve, because long sleeve is my shit. Fuck a t-shirt.
Until spring when you cut the sleeves off.
Right.
Yeah, first I took I had tried to copy my existing Bango fingers that I had, and the mold just turned out really shitty. And then I'm like, well, I can just sculpt 3 fingers, right? Of 3 different sizes. Just pour that a bunch. Maybe that would work. No, they ended up being too big. Had to pour them too thick. So the only one of the really long ones would work. And then I made like another finger, and then I'm like, fuck it. I made a copy where I have one mold that has five fingers in one. And now I'm probably going to make another copy again to shrink them down one more time. And then they should be nice and tight, for adequate finger blasting, TJ.
It almost looks like cow udders, so that's cool.
What do you mean looks like cow udders? Liz likes the tits hanging on a guy. You know what I'm saying? She likes nipples on nut sacks is what she really likes.
Nipples on nuts. No.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of nut sacks, so the other day I was I was going through some free images, trying to make like our cute little video and on and so I was going through our photos, and then I thought, okay, I'm gonna put our Christmas photos in there that we took of our makeup looks and everything. So I'm looking for free photos that would go with the theme and creepy Christmas and stuff like that. And so I'm in my head, I'm thinking of like ornaments like splattered with blood and all, but when I looked it up, I found what came to me was a picture of ornament that actually resembled really well an actual nutsack, and it had a bow on it, and it was hanging from a tree. So maybe next Christmas that could be a Gravity Bleeds project.
Nutsack ornament.
There's only one nutsack ornament around here on Christmas, and it's my own. I just put a mistletoe on my dick and just walk around like that and see what happens. When it's just around.
Oh yeah, good times.
Good times. No, I mean that would go and on point with our merch. That does not make sense. That is our merch, which that's something we have coming out this year as well. Nothing planned definitively yet, but we will have some things available for sure at Camp Zool, most definitely, and we'll see how it goes from there. We'll post online, so those of you who can't attend, even though we wish you were there, can still have a chance to get some goodies. So, and trust me, it's going to be stupid and it's not going to make sense, like nutsack Christmas ornaments,
like nutsacks with googly eyes. I'm going to put a patent on that one.
When I was
edit this out so no one can know.
When I was doing that dead bango, and at first I wasn't trying to do a bango, it was more of a clown, but then I just kind of started going there and wanted to make them more dead, but I had a bigger nose, and I kept taking the nose down and splitting it and kind of making it look all rotten, and then all of a sudden it looked just like a mushroom tip of a dick. Like, you guys know Nothing But Trouble, Dan Aykroyd, the judge, when he's at the table, and all of a sudden Chevy Chase looks over and he thinks his dick is the nose. It's like fucking exactly like that.
Oh, so like a brand new Carhartt hat. It's like super penisy at the top.
Oh yeah.
I do want to say before we get too far off topic here, though, is all the masks that you guys checked out tonight are available at Philbrix.com. And, oops, you're taking it to, we're both clicking it at the same time. That's what happened. There is a promo code we have running there at the bottom that is good until February 9th.
So back to the 23 thing. That was so with the number and pushing. So I'm creating these 23 different demons from here that I'm releasing from, well, it was last Tuesday until the 9th. So there'll be more and more trickling out. A few of the others around here that you've seen, some you haven't seen, and there'll be those other ones trickling in. So that code, only shared that on my story. That'll be available here. If you sign up on my website, that'll be going out to everyone there as well. So, yeah, fingers coming. The face eaters are going to be launching today when this episode goes up. So Sunday, there'll be a few other things up there. And the Etsy's dead. So I'm going to put up some graphics, try to redirect some traffic from Etsy. If you've been over there looking at Etsy or gravitybleeds.com, that's kind of gone away. And trying to take everything over to Philbrix.com.
So watch for that trickle.
Right. Check it out. And you can always get to Philbrix.com as well at deadbitchesbrunch.com. If you can't recall that for whatever reason, it all navigates over there, and you can also get to Haunted Housewives Creations as well. Well, I did have a question, Brandon. Ooh, I'm doing funky stuff over here, folks. You don't even know.
It's me, Rooster, from the Scumfuck Society. Remember me? I'm also one of the dead fucks.
I love that mask. It's so fucking dope. When he came in, I just laughed so hard. I wanted to talk to you, Brandon, so that we could get this out there. How do you like base your pricing on your mask when you come up with those?
Yeah, so if some of you are going there and you're going, what the fuck, $123? Like, that's kind of more expensive than it's ever been. Well, exclusivity, rarity, and the first pulls of these things. So some of you may or may not know, the more pulls you get out of a mask, the more kind of, little bubbles will appear, the more detail erodes, things like that. So with these first 23 that are doing, these are all going to be unique one-offs of these demons. And with these 3, going to be 4 new characters that come up. They're the very first 5 fresh pulls off them. So like these first 5 that come out of a mold of a design, it's as pristine, crisp, and detailed as they're going to get, as detailed as my sculpture is. So with those, just put a lot more love and care and attention into those first batches, so that it's so pure. The little details, like doing some of the lacing that I'm going to add to some of these. Been doing some padding and things. Different layers of airbrushing, so pushing my airbrush skills. So there's a few layers of darkening and then actually going white over the top to gray some things out. Epoxy teeth, different epoxy things and whatnot. So kind of that's what's happening. Price will go down. There's more quantity of things, or if there is a small run of something, but trying to, based on that quality, that effort, that time involved, and putting some, higher value on those first 5. So those are, some pretty pristine pulls that come out. And the ones I really pour my heart into in trying to get these different concepts out and just trying to create, the best work that I can. Always trying to do that, but naturally to start doing something 20, 25 of something, and you kind of run out and, time constraints and whatnot. So it's one of those things you can, pay to get a $50 one-color mask or $150 5-color detailed airbrush. So that's saying kind of the more detail and effort that goes into something as well. So trying to take that into account. With these, though, got some new stickers that are going out. And also with the mask holders and things like that, I'll work something out if you want to customize those to work with one of the masks, or buy a face eater that will match an existing mask, whichever treasured one you have. I can do those up so that'll match that color scheme of your mask as well.
I wanted to ask you, and you haven't talked about this yet because we haven't had you on a show and you haven't done an interview since this happened. But I know, and I guess most people can obviously assume, for any creator, like, to have an artist perform in your masks, in your work, is a really big deal. And recently at Axmas, and another show as well, I think it was a New Year's Eve show. I'm terrible, I should have written this down beforehand.
Weirdo's Eve.
Weirdo's Eve, yes, exactly, thank you. AXE performed in masks customized by you. So you were sent blanks from Tom Martino, and then you got to just Frankenstein your black soul away on these masks. And yeah, we just haven't talked about that Yeah, don't make me beg. We haven't been able to talk about that moment. I know for me, as someone who's been with you since day one on this journey of Philbrix Studio, like it
You
was.
want to have a baby? Baby friend? I remember that. That was fun.
Your mask making journey. Well, so I'll say that there. Well, oh, they're in your baby. That's creepy. That's creepy. I'm the baby.
Yeah, that was the shit. That was quite an honor. Bill hit me up and said, "You want to, just do up some forever faces for us, dealer's choice." And I'm like, oh, "Fuck yeah, man!" I'm like, so I'm not just gonna do just different color variations and whatnot. Like, I want to put some hair on these. I'm gonna chop some horns in, add some teeth. I may fucking cut them to pieces. I don't know. And so there are 20 out there, 20 2.0s and 22.1s. And maybe the 6 have been unveiled so far. And they try to be so secret. I don't know what I shouldn't be saying, but there's I did a chop top. This one is the shit with the chrome brain, some scraggly hair coming down and stuff. And yeah, so, and then I have no idea. I don't even hear anything when they get them or what they're going to do with them until we popped up that live stream and saw them performing in the Olaf Zuli-Lus or the Jack Frost. That's a fucking Olaf Zuli-Lu with that fucking carrot nose there. And so, yeah, that was pretty mind-blowing. And then for the Weirdo's Eve as well, and the one Bill's been rocking with the finger crown was one of my favorites, one of his favorites as well, which turned out to be the fingers from my first failed finger experiment that I told you all about earlier when we were pontificating upon finger blasting and whatnot.
No, well, cheers. Fucking congratulations, because you've been working towards this goal, and yeah, we had no fucking idea that was going to happen and stuff, which they've caught us a lot of times where we don't know anything, and then you go on your phone and you're like, oh my god.
So exciting.
Like trying to remember how to screen record. It's like, oh, I haven't. And I'm gonna say it. This is gonna be the year that that happened in 2022, but in 23, we're gonna get to see them perform in your customization. That's gonna happen. We're gonna see it.
Manifesting that shit right now.
Yeah.
Be working pretty closely with SON as we get closer to Camp Zool here as well. We're doing some shit for him, working on his stage show as well. So there'll be some pretty epic shit happening for Camp Zool Tool. For Camp Zool Tool. That'll be.
Yes, number 3.
Number 3 this year.
Well, I should say now we are accepting a collection for candles. Candlelight is Gravity Bleed's favorite form of light, so we'll start adding to that collection. Maybe not candles.
I have battery candles. I cheat.
I do too. Which my favorite time to get them is after Christmas, because then all the Christmas stuff, and it's just they're not, as long as they're not Christmas themed, use them anytime.
Right. So yeah, this is a nice little trick I learned, was you just get the regular white ones and then you buy a shit ton of black crayons, or just regular crayons, and take all the black ones and you melt the black wax all around the outside of the candle so it looks like it's dripping black.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
It's
fun too.
We actually have, talking of candles, we have an upcoming episode in the very near future of a candle maker. who makes like
Mhm.
custom candles that look like they're human bone or, you know, all kinds of cool, wicked, dark shit. So
Even better.
yeah, even better. So one of the things that we had chatted about with this comeback episode was a kind of a little bit of get to know us. You know, we're turning the page, starting a new chapter. We have gravity bleeds popping in and out of the show sometimes, maybe occasionally Bango Skank. I mean, I can't say what's going to happen this season. I have no control.
Could be Satan.
Well, let's let you know in advance on that. And I completely lost my train of thought because you were pulling up those really cool slides.
Is Bango Skank going to be here? I thought Bango Skank was dead.
This is Dead Bitches Brunch, so the dead do come alive during this hour.
He might come back on Easter. Isn't that what Easter is? Bango Skank resurrected, or?
It is. It's when all fallen clowns rise from the grave.
Okay, I thought that's why we bought the eggs and the chocolate and all that stuff. I couldn't remember exactly, but
it's beef jerky and potato chips, salt related things.
okay.
Again, my brother, the alien Dust, he's the sugar guy. This crazy motherfucker even has confetti pancakes. So I'm a beef jerky guy. But beef jerky in your mailbox Easter at midnight, and I will come and murder half your family and eat your beef jerky.
There we go. Well,
Teriyaki or
It just dead cow. It doesn't matter.
okay.
I mean, some of that shit even tastes like dog food. It's horrendous. I don't give a fuck. I'll eat that. I'll live off beef jerky if my teeth could take it. As they can. So.
We'll remember that.
You were going to get into some firsts, Leah. We were talking about like first horror movie, 1st time you got scared, first time you puked all over my bedroom floor. I don't know, maybe something like that. Just any kind of first. So.
You're just pushing it this first episode. Well, since you brought it up, yes, that was. I don't want to call it a first. I mean, obviously, this is the one and only time it happened. We're not going to call it a first because that means it might happen again, and it won't. It was the most horrific thing ever. But we believe here at Dead Bitches Brunch in being free and experimenting and trying new things in a safe environment with people that you trust. Somebody was embarking on, let's say, a spiritual journey, and it just all kind of came in like a wrecking ball. And all of a sudden, I walk into the bedroom, and Brandon's sitting on the bed, and I start to cry, and I start to demand for him to tell me, how long will this journey take? Do I have a time? Because I just needed to know that there was going to be a time that I had to hang on to, and I would make it. And he starts laughing at me. And then all of a sudden he multiplied to 5 Brandons sitting on the bed. And then the room just then spun and the 5 Brandons are on the ceiling. And I, mid-sentence of crying, of demanding the 5 Brandons to tell me when this journey was going to end, then vomited all over the bedroom floor, just spewing like The Exorcist onto the VCR. And it was just like one of those that you can't, you're like, and you're like trying to stop, but then stopping, it's like making, it was bad. And then I spent the rest of the night naked in the bathtub because running water over me constantly was the like only thing helping. So yes, that was a highlight of a journey that I will honestly say I don't regret doing it, because I know like I would have done it anyways. But so it happened. I experienced that. I learned some limits about myself. And hopefully I never have to cry in front of the love of my life and then projectile vomit everywhere.
So basically what you're saying is that you were possessed by a demon and then turned into a werewolf.
Yes, exactly. I never saw it that way till now. Well, now I know.
That could be fun.
Now I know. That explains why I was naked in the bathtub for 12 hours. Yeah.
You're more like turning into the stuff, or more like it's more like street trash, actually.
Ooh.
Here.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if we can find a clip of Lydia that night. That was off of a THC pill. She didn't say that. So probably first and last time we do something like that, right? But this, it's just weed, they say, but who knows how much, how to measure it, and with Lydia, and I was floating on the bed, all five of me, hanging out with myself. We were kicking it, having a good time, watching Rick and Morty or some shit. So.
And then I just died. But I came late to the game of we'll say of experience. Yeah, because I didn't have my first drink until I was 24, like maybe right before I was 24. So I held off for a long time. So I've been trying to catch up in that time period here, folks, and it's rough. It's you're mid to late 30s aren't the time. This is where you're supposed to do this shit in your 20s, and you get bounce back.
Oh my gosh. I was doing that shit in like my teenage years, and it was just not pretty. So
yeah. It's even way more disgusting when you're in your mid 30s, and very sad, but it's for science.
All I got to say is thug life. That's just my fucking motto for everything.
Yeah. It's like everyone saw me get like buried in the fucking snow for a promotional video. Like, this is just to let you know, like, I'm a pretty chill person. I'll pretty much like I'll be like, if someone can suggest, I'm like, yes, I'm okay.
Oh, that was so great. I just wanted to throw snow on her face, and I got to. But Lydia decided to use a plastic bag to protect her face. So the snow, it just displaces the weight evenly. Just suctions it to her face. I'm trying to.
It was your idea. The bag was your idea. You were like, you should have something on your face so that when you come up, you can pull it down quickly and your face is clear for the video right away.
This is the first I'm hearing of the bag. I thought it was just fucking magic.
No. So yeah, and then like and then this is the other thing. This is the big one. Yeah, you think we don't? We always agree around here. No, we don't. I wanted to wear my winter coat while being buried in the snow. No. Okay, this psychopath right down there had this idea that I was apparently like killed in the fall, and he like badly buried my body, and then all the snow came over. So that meant that I could not be wearing a winter jacket while I was cold as fuck and suffocating. We did that in one take.
Hey, you know what? You got to do what you got to do for the pics and the videos, man. Like, I've been given shit before. I was like, I told my son, I'm like, just throw on your shoes, come out and take a picture of us. And, he's like knee deep and like ruins his work shoes because he's just out there to take a picture, but you got to do what you got to do. And it's so good. I love that picture. In the video.
Costume. You can't be out there bundled up just like you're going to the store every other day. Jack wasn't out there in his winter coat. That's why he froze to death. Froze up. know?
And if you really look at it and study it, it's like you just appreciate the details so much. Like she really sacrificed a lot going in that fucking snowbank with not even a winter jacket on. Like that's thug right there.
It was fucking, but I was pumped to do it. I was game. He was like, "Oh, today would be a perfect day to do it." I'm like, "Okay, I'll do some makeup to kind of add that frostbitten look on there." I was down for it, and I was like, "Yeah." Then I was like, game. Like I was totally willing and pumped for this whole thing until reality hit me, and I get that.
You got pneumonia.
The first shovel of like 3 of snow over my face, and I'm just like, holy fuck. Like
so you're right, that was pretty gangster of you, but
Hell yeah.
your first time taking your unknown weed pill, that was not very gangster. So I pulled up the clip of that. Let's play that clip.
Oh wow. Okay.
That we have here. She starts to look like a dude.
I do. I only look like a girl for the show. Yep, I recall that now. Oh, so I was in the toilet, not the bathtub. But I get those confused. Good times. So, yeah. Hey.
Oh, gotta love those firsts.
Gotta love those firsts.
You write that in the baby book.
Right.
So if y'all didn't know Street Trash, Pebs did a Street Trash inspired run of Halloween masks for AXE recently.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know that gooey, colorful shit is from Street Trash. So if y'all don't know, check it out. They play Keep Away with a Dick. It's fucking hilarious. Just good, classic, the dirtiest of dirty horror that Lydia hates. So this is for the rest of my dudes out there, I guess.
This is for the street trash.
Yeah, not you bougie bitches.
Right.
Watch 37 seasons of Love Island. Know this from a street trash people.
Yes, I watch horror movies and smut TV. You gotta
She
have
does
balance.
Love Island horror movies.
You have to have balance, okay? All right. So now that I have been dragged with my first here, Gravity Bleeds.
First.
Ooh.
Well, okay, I'm not mean. So First Gathering.
I was about that. I was supposed to say, thinking of. I'm trying to think of the first time I got really scared from a movie, and in honor of what's his nuts, the kid that was in Salem's Lot that just died now as an old man. I think he's only like 20 years older than me or something. I think he's like 62 or something when he died. But the kid from the original Salem's Lot passed away. But Salem's Lot was, I think, the first time I got really fucking scared from a movie, and it was his friend floating outside of the window. And scratching at the window, and the smoke coming out, and the glimmer in their eyes, and for that being fucking 79, fucking Salem's Lot actually came out, and that I think led to kind of my first recurring nightmare ever that I remember. How in the first house, I always have this dream as a little kid walking downstairs into the basement and then into the main room, my parents' party room. There's a little bar there. They had the big, it's great. The one big wall was just an orange sunset. Anybody's parents or grandparents have that. They just do a big wallpaper picture, back in the 60s and 70s. So big sunset. They'd have the big tapestry of the dogs playing poker in the back by the bumper pool table and the ping pong and shit. But I kept having this dream where I'd go down there and I'm just like walking in the basement, go to the bumper pool table, and I turn on the light and there's a fucking vampire just sitting there every time. And the same kind of vampire, more like the Bela Lugosi Dracula. But
Ooh.
Salem's Lot's fault. But even as a kid, I loved those black and white, orange covered monster books. So I'm a lot older than you bitches. So,
but you knew subconsciously that they couldn't actually be there unless you invited them in.
I didn't know that rule back then. No, I didn't know shit. Maybe I was inviting them into my heart.
True.
The fascination of that. So.
Oh, that was a good one.
I wonder if you have a look at that.
All right. Oh, okay. I've got one for you, Leah. So what was your first like introduction to like gangster rap? Like how did this whole side and air of you come about?
Oh, when I became a gangster. Well, when I watched Goodfellas. No, yeah. Seriously though, like the gangster rap thing, like, yeah, my dad used to watch gangster movies with me all the time. So like Goodfellas and like The Godfather. The Godfather was one of like the first movies. Actually, that was the first movie, and I probably already said this on here. And I tell everyone the story, but The Godfather was the first movie that actually scared me. Aside from like actually watching horror movies. But gangster rap, I would say when I was younger, I had a lot of cousins that were older, and we used to get together for holidays and stuff like that periodically. And a couple of my cousins would listen to it. And so then I started like getting into the music and stuff and looking things up, like as, you know, the internet came around when I was like 5, I think, is when we got AOL, and you know, starting to watch like VH1 and all of the documentaries and all of the movies. And just like shortly after the time that, you know, the whole thing happened with Tupac faking his death because he's not actually dead and things like that, and just getting like super invested in that. And it just kind of grew from there. And it was like, you know, like I was passionate about it, and I was just like frankly obsessed to the point where I would make my mom watch the documentaries and the movies and shows with me. And yeah, the gangster rap. So like I started listening to it nonstop, and my brother will tell you, my brother's, I want to say 3 years younger than me. And he always tells people, I give all the credit to my sister for my taste in music being so good. You're welcome. Yeah, I just became obsessed, and here I am, gangster.
Do you remember your first album or song, or even just artist that first really grabbed you, and or the first that you owned that was yours yourself, that you owned, like the first rap CD that was yours, not like, you know, a friend's or anything like that?
Okay, the first one that was actually my own, that wasn't like a burnt CD that someone gave to me or anything like that, was Ludacris Word of Mouth. Yes. Yeah. And I fucking love that CD still to this day. There's some fucking bangers on it.
Shit. I forget how young you are sometimes.
I know. I'm a baby, but yes. And then, you know, I got to the point where when like I would want CDs that like weren't even in the stores anymore because they came out long before I ever got into anything like that. And then it was like, thank God for fucking Napster and LimeWire and all that other shit, because if not, then, you know, I mean, even Best Buy didn't have it, fucking losers. And now all that shit's like out on vinyl, and you can buy it like on vinyl, and my son's coming home with it and stuff. And I'm like, dude, this was like shit we couldn't find that was like diamond in the rough when I was younger that you couldn't find anywhere. And, you know, I mean, I had some cassette tapes, and I had, you know, like, because I was younger, it was like, it was, my parents would only buy me things that didn't say, you know, like have the parental advisory on it or whatever and shit. So I got away with like Big Willie style on cassette tape, I think. But even that, it was like so lame, but it was rap, and I just loved it. Like, dude, let's just fucking rap, you know?
Even fucking, you know, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince back in the day had the Nightmare on My Street. Like
Nightmare on My Street. I love that song.
Early rap even had its little like horror touches, you know, occasionally. Fat Boys did a Nightmare on Elm Street song back in the day. Snoop with Murder Was the Case. There's always kind of like a little horror element there. Those are really my favorites, but that's fascinating. For me, I remember, like, I was lucky having my older brother would scam the shit out of Columbia House and BMG. I don't know if that was before your time, but you sign up for fake names. It was the 10 CDs, pay for one, or 9 CDs for a penny, and then you pay for one. But then they try to charge you like $25 CDs, and you're supposed to buy like 3 in the next year. My brother would just sign up under fake names and tell him "fuck you," and he'd never pay shit.
Dude, yes, that was actually how I got like the Tupac greatest hits and all that, was like signing up for all that shit.
And he would just buy everything that had an explicit lyrics tag on it, a little lightning bolt, back in the day. But even before that, Life Is Too Short is from fucking '88. That was the first kind of rap album as a whole, and with cuss words and Don't Fight the Feeling, that blew my mind and really grabbed me. But that was borrowed from somebody else. And then like the next 3 or 4 years, I was just fed, everything through my brother, ripping off Columbia House and BMG. We were very West Coast. I think Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg Doggy Style and Onyx Back the Fuck Up were the first two that like we owned. But for me, myself, when I left my mom and had to build my own CD collection, it was Bone Thugs and Harmony, East 1999, Eternal.
Love it.
Greatest.
I love Bone Thugs and Harmony. And then, now that we're having this conversation, I think I might have actually had like a couple rap CDs before. Like when I say Ludacris Word of Mouth, I think that was my first one that actually had like the label on it that my parents would buy for me when I was in 7th grade. But I did have like Lil Bow Wow and Lil Romeo, Masterpiece Son, and all those fucking CDs.
I had all the Masterpiece CDs. So when I was like 15, 16, I got obsessed with No Limit Records.
Mm-hmm.
I even ordered some Masterpiece CDs out of a magazine to get the Ghettos Trying to Kill Me and shit like that. But I try to, kind of ashamed of that era of my life, the trying to collect every No Limit CD that was released. The rest of that West Coast gangster shit still holds up to this day, and it's the fucking best music that's out there.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Lydia, do you remember your first gangster rap song that you heard when you were 31?
I came in late to the game, hey, sorry, I was like escaping the cult. I was doing shit, okay? No, I don't know. When I was I didn't really like get to experiment and choose like what I wanted to listen to until it's like I was 24. So, and at that point I was just kind of like, fuck it, if I'm going to go to hell, I'm going to have a good time going. So, yeah, it was a lot of puking involved. But yeah, no, I just kind of bopped around for a few years, but I didn't seriously get into rap until we started dating. And then Twisted and the Underground. I do remember some Man on the Moon, the Kid Cudi album.
I love Kid Cudi.
So that would probably be the first thing that, like, I remember hearing that right when I had first moved up to Minnesota, and I was super depressed because I'd driven across the country by myself from South Texas, like right on the border of Mexico, up to Minnesota. Little did I know I was on my journey to find my clown love, but at that time I was super depressed about life. My brother had the Kid Cudi, that album, and I just remember like listening to it.
Dude, fun story. I actually got way too high, like in a parking lot waiting to go into the Kid Cudi concert. And by the time, you know, like we were sitting in my friend's little sun fire, like just getting baked and literally like baking because the sun was coming in the windows and she shut the car off. And then when we were walking into the venue, I actually couldn't see, like my eyes were black. And remember walking in and then all of a sudden my eyes were black and she was guiding me and I used the bathroom somehow, some way, made it up to the very top of the hill at what used to be called Pine Knob. And then they changed to DTE, which I think is Pine Knob again. Made it to the very top of the hill and again baked in the sun for like another half hour until someone brought me pizza and nachos. And then I came back to life, smoked some more weed, and then Kid Cudi did a concert, and then a cop confiscated my friend's corncob pipe. True story.
That reminds me, and we've talked about this before, but again, one of my greatest hits, the first Astro that we got to go to. I forget which one it was, like 5 or 4. I don't remember exactly which one it was. But we were I did not time my edibles correctly.
That's always fun.
So like they hit me like on the car ride there. So I'm like tripping balls already. And then we're in line outside the venue and it's just hot as fuck and the sun's just beating down on you. And I am just losing it and just in this crowd of people to see Twisted and AXC and they're for the Attack of the Ninjas. And it was just like, oh my God, it was. And then of course everyone's, coming up and showing their masks and being trippy because they're all, but I'm just like, oh my God, it was
dying.
terrible. And then I asked Brent, we were standing in line in front of this adorable ice cream shop, and I asked him to go get me water. And he's like, no, my face is painted. I'm wearing these masks. Like, you go in there. So I go in there, and I'm like, can I have a bottle? Can I buy a bottle of water? And she's like, we don't have bottles. We have boxes. And I'm like, I just need a bottle of water. She's like, yeah, we have boxes. And I'm like, can I just have one? Like, I don't want a crate of water. She's like, no, it's boxes.
Great.
I don't know how long this interaction went, but it came out finally. I figured out it's boxed water instead of bottled water. So then I come out with these, it looks like I'm drinking milk. And then people were really looking at me then at this point. That's the only time you can look like a freak in the midst of a bunch of
freaks
wearing masks and looking like freaks when you're the one that shows up on a 90-degree day in the beating sun with your cartons of milk. I freaked everybody in that line. But no, then I lived. So
yeah, motherfuckers thought Itty was the crazy one out there in the line. He's walking back and forth across the street yelling at everyone. Nope, it's the maskless bitch in the back with the box of milk. Stay away from her.
Oh, that's good.
Good times. It was good times.
With the rap, we say like it's one of the things we're gonna do, right, Leah? Is we're gonna schooling Lizzie B. Give her some hip hop, some gangster, some music knowledge, all the things that she's missed in the past. We're gonna tag team Lizzie B. Wait, we're gonna
gang rape Lizzie. Oh.
Teach her about this epic rap history that she missed. And
to put it nicely, we're gonna make a playlist.
Tell stories. I was telling her stories about the DOC and crushed his throat and that whole shit. And, so yeah, playing some songs, some old school, and she naturally loves the West Coast shit, as most people do. I think it takes some time to get into the East Coast, but that's the Midwest flavor, ICP, Twisted, Psychopathic, Tech Nine. It all has more of a West Coast tint to it and inspiration versus the East Coast. And Yeah, I was so warped by Dre and Snoop Dogg back in the day with the West Coast shit. Like, we'd break Mobb Deep CDs and stuff. And my friend bought a Mobb Deep CD over, and we fucking threw it in the road and started smashing it and dancing on it and shit. I like Mobb Deep now. They have some good shit. But
Some shook ones.
so more of that coming of us trying to teach Lydia things. She naturally loves E40. E40 was one that she's just like, it's so cool when something comes on, and then later she's playing it in her playlist, you know? And, okay, yeah, she really likes that. It wasn't me trying to shove it down her throat.
Oh, you know, it's so sad though, like, because, you know, even though I was younger and then, like, I grew up on certain things or whatever, like, self-induced, because, like, my parents did not listen to that shit whatsoever. It was, like, straight up oldies and nothing but Elvis and Johnny Cash, which I'm still obsessed with, fucking roots, you know? But, like, now I show it to my kids, and then, like, my kids will walk around and they'll be singing like Humpty Hump and stuff like that. And I'm like, yes, I've done something right. But yeah, just like in the past like couple of years, like, you know, Shock G dying and like DMX and everything. And like, I get so emotional and I'm like, God, I feel so bad because kids these days just don't know what good rap is. Like all this new trash, it's trash. Like it's so terrible. And it's like, I just got to keep the good shit alive, you know, for the sake of like my kids being able to know it in their lifetime. And it doesn't just get like lost and buried away because, you know, Polo G walks in or some fucking NBA young boy. Like my 8-year-old's obsessed with NBA young boy. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're not my kid. But I will say I did catch him listening to Tupac Hit 'Em Up the other day, and I was like, okay, it's working.
One of the biggest differences, maybe we can close out after this one, but I had to say that because I had a beef with this new rap shit as well, and I try to give it a chance. But I think one of the biggest tragedies in gangster rap is, from my era, 90s shit, they were teaching you how to be a hustler, saying be a drug dealer. And, you know, they like sell that shit. Rob motherfuckers, but don't do that shit. Don't get high on your own supply. You know, they're always like, we don't do coke. I keep my nose clean. I'm fucking getting smoked out, shit like that. Almost every one of these new fucking rappers that I hear these days, they talk about popping pills, Molly, and it's about getting as fucked up and high as possible.
Right.
And that's my problem with this mainstream shit. It's like they tried to kill gangster rap back in the day and they couldn't do it. So they're like, well, let's just inundate it with let's actually, you know, make the message bad. Let's fuck up these kids. How many rappers from our era died of drug overdoses?
Right.
Pimp C, right? Later, there's a Pimp C. It's about all I can think of.
Way back, yeah.
ODB did a lot of coke and crack. That shit didn't kill him. That shit made him stronger. But when he quit. But for the most of them, you know, that was a universal message that was out there. And they've really flipped that. And I think that's one of the biggest tragedies that we see in rap. And it's right away every song. I'm popping pills. Quit eating the fucking pills. We're doing all the drugs again as fucked up as possible. Smoke some fucking weed, drink some 40s, rob some fucking people, and shoot your enemies in the face, okay? Let's keep it simple.
Seriously simple. Like, honestly.
Formula for success.
For sure. Get it right. Get it right. Get it right. Get it tight.
This is this point.
New rappers.
If you're not already dead. Seriously.
Well, so that's a little trip down memory lane. So back to almost the present here. We have a little segment we're going to try out. So freshly dead films. I think I have that right. Freshly dead films. Dope. So as we've been taking this time off, we've been checking out some different films that we think, you know, maybe you guys should give a little watch to, or we just kind of wanted to discuss here tonight. One that I have recently watched that I really enjoyed, but I was very confused because I was homeschooled and can't read things properly, apparently, was a film called The Furies. I believe it is a horror film either out of New Zealand or Australia. I can't remember that off the top of my head, but it's one of the two. But I thought it was named The Furries. So film absolutely epic, but I was confused the first time watching it because I was expecting something furry and murderous to jump out. That didn't occur, but a lot of other murder. So I don't want to spoil it because I went into this blind. Oh, we got a little preview here. If you unmute the video, Brandon, they'll be able to hear the audio.
No, we're listening to you.
Oh, you're listening to me. So if you are a fan of just really good kills, you're a fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Masks. It does have a little bit of a plot you need to kind of figure out in there, but it is the first few minutes kind of dumb, but it really does. It picks up its pace and it keeps on going and it doesn't let up. It has multiple characters, kills, all of that in there. They just kind of like keep on stacking the bar with it. So definitely one, The Furies. It's so gruesome. It's
You better act somebody, right?
So check that out. It was dope. I think it came out in 2021 or 22. I'm really surprised that I haven't seen more people talk about this film because it was good. It was a good one. It was thoroughly enjoyable, and it's one that when we watched it together, Gravity Release and I, that we both enjoyed. And that's what's fun. It's that kind of sweet spot in horror that like both of us are, just kind of engrossed in the film and stuff. So definitely worth a watch. Some good inspiration in that film. So yes, good old fashioned horror just about killing. Another thing I've been watching a lot, rewatching, this isn't anything new. But I've watched The Nun again. That film, I know a lot of people don't consider it that scary, but when you're scared of demonic possession, as I am, and those types of things, like religious, they're just those are like the creepiest ones. So I rewatched that again, and then we did watch the new Exorcist Nun film that came out as well. I can't remember the name. It wasn't that great, but it was really pretty. Pray, I think, or something. Yeah, it had some good possessions and like one or two good possessions, but nothing that was,
Is that Pray to the Devil? Is that the one?
Oh yeah,
The Devil, but with PREY.
Mm-hmm.
Woman exorcist.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, it's an exorcist, but she's a woman who's she's discriminated against by the church, but she has the connection or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. It was all right. I mean, it's definitely, if you haven't seen it and you can watch it for free on a streaming platform, do it. But I wouldn't pay for that. The Furies, though, if you have to pay to watch that shit, like,
Worth it.
It's definitely worth it. It's one too. If you are able to find a physical media of it, I would say it's that good for those who are into the physical media collection of these things. But no, I enjoyed it. So that's kind of what I was into. How about you guys? Anything new or just something you've revisited in the last 2 months? Because yeah, we've been off. Well, no, it's not been about a month and a half because we kind of stopped a little bit before the end of December.
I heard Leah is afraid of watching Terrifier 2, so all she's been doing is watching her fucking toenails grow. She's
Oh yeah, here's a real horror for you. I actually ripped my toenail off yesterday. So what now? I'm not joking. But yeah, one that I have revisited recently, actually, I totally forgot about this, was I Spit on Your Grave. So like the original was just fucking like chef's kiss, amazing, loved it, fell in love with it. Such a righteous movie. And then I did recently rewatch the remake, which I thought was also fucking badass. Considering I'm not usually a fan of remakes most of the time, or I'm like super critical of them, but the I Spit on Your Grave remake was super good. I tried to watch the I Spit on Your Grave 2 newer version, and I did not fully get into it to the point where I finished it, so I cannot speak on that film. But yeah, those movies, highly recommend. I watched Barbarian, which if you like to see creepy creatures breastfeeding peeps, go for it.
I can't believe I forgot about that one. That was a highlight as well.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate, and I'm not going to give away anything on here, but there's a point in the film where you think the universe fucked up and somehow you start watching something else. And I want to say they did that a couple times in the film. And I thought that was brilliant because it was no like lead up to it or anything. It was just
I know. I feel like I usually kind of like ruin movies for myself and others that are watching with me because I always predict like what's going to happen or who's going to be the killer to the point where it's almost annoying. And TJ's like, "Oh my God, how'd you know?" or whatever, you know. And in that movie, there were just so many things that happened that like took a complete turn where it wasn't even just like the character that I misjudged. It was like the whole entire plot just went somewhere else. And then what it turned into, you know, and then at the end of the movie, I was like pretty satisfied with how it all went in the creepiest way possible.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely, if you're one of those people, I can agree with you completely that you can predict things kind of ahead of time and stuff like that, just because some things do fall for cliches within the genre. It takes you on some unexpected turns multiple times, which I really appreciate because that had to been a ballsy move on their end to be like, there's no lead up. Like, we're just going to snap, do this now. Snap, oh, it's this kind of film. Oh, no, it's this kind of film. So it was
and also Richard Brake, some of the movies I've seen him in, which is more typically like Rob Zombie films, but some of his roles I've been like, oh, he's lame or like he's too much or whatever. And I think he was like completely perfect for himself in that movie.
Yeah, no, it was a good one. It left you with a strange feeling at the end, which I'm not mad at because there's nothing better than being able to like end a film and just have it like evoke an emotion that stays with you or an unsettled feeling. I feel like good for them. Like that was a goal, like just to leave people disturbed when you're walking out. And that's a good horror movie. That's a good sentiment. You either want people terrified when they're leaving or you want them to just be disturbed.
Right. We don't want them to good night, sleep tight at all whatsoever.
Yeah. No. It doesn't end, wrap it up in a bow. So.
We want the bed bugs to bite.
Yes. Teeth.
Please.
Teeth.
Totally, completely scarred from anything that has to do with breastfeeding ever again. Please and thank you.
Yes.
No, thank you.
I hate asking Gravity Blades this question because I know what he's been watching, but tell everybody what's been your kicks this week.
The old 80s Italian horror. So revisiting the Lucio Fulci Gates of Hell trilogy, City of the Living Dead, The Beyond and House by the Cemetery, of course, those are fantastic. City of the Living Dead being one of the best. And Burial Ground is another one that's out there that I had teased you two about, but we won't show any clips of that again. Maybe we should run a whole breastfeeding thing, right? Let's do a breastfeeding episode sometime. I got a couple great breastfeeding clips from horror movies.
You know how little of this podcast we're going to be able to use from this episode? 20
yeah, for me, I'm not so big on like story and shit so much. Like I want to see monsters, makeup, and gore, and just the crazy effects. And there's something I just love about that cheesy ass Italian horror with the voiceovers and shit. That it's just nonsensical and doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't matter because you get to see, you know, an eyeball gouged out and, you know, a head ran over by a car, and they show that shit. It's no, you know, making you think it, and then the camera cuts away and whatnot. And the ambiance of the sound of them as well. Which I recently saw like Slasher Dave posting that, you know, those types of movies were so influential for him. The Cannibal Death Gods, you know, going back to, you know, Cannibal Holocaust and Mondo Cannibal and you know, those types of movies back then. So I've been revisiting those, and they're great in your, you know, working on your computer, just having something on the background. I'm trying to get Lids into watching a few of them, and they're not really, most of those movies are not ones you sit and watch and absorb the whole time, right? It's kind of, because then it's like, what the fuck's going on? And I don't understand this shit. She's trying to understand the plot, storyline, and characters. No, just wait. Okay, there's a cool kill there. That's why we were watching this movie, you know? So, but she's not getting into it. That's fine. That's my own thing. I'm going to keep that for myself.
The wow factors.
Yeah. And I don't know what it is with
Watch
those, like,
cool shit with me. Not
I
that they
got-
don't have cool shit, but I can't watch like an hour-long movie just for like a 2-minute good like makeup scene. Like just pull up that clip and I will enjoy it. Like I don't need the rest. I will appreciate that clip of the practical effects to its fullest.
If I'm with you there. If it's just like the one thing at the end, but like Burial Ground is cool because there's just a whole bunch of zombies that they're trying to make look like the zombies from Zombie 2, but they never quite get it right, and it's always kind of fucked up and half-assed makeup work. But they show the zombies a lot, you know, and tearing people apart a lot. And there's a really weird scene with the kid and his mom that's pretty fun. You should check out.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Fun, he says.
Moving on. Alrighty, folks. Well, yeah, this was episode 1. This was different. We had some oopsies, as we'll say. But hey, life fucking happens. But yeah, a little preview of what's to come here on season 2 of Dead Bitches Brunch. For our next episode on February 5th, we will be back live, and we will have Lindsay from the podcast The Chilling. We've been sharing it on Dead Bitches Brunch and on our personal. This is a 13-episode podcast, a real life telling of a haunting and demonic possession. And check it out, folks. It's amazing. The 13th episode has not been released yet. So there's time to catch up on here, and I think it's going to be awesome because we've never kind of talked. We've touched on like briefly about talking about the supernatural, but we've never really gotten into it more in depth. So having Lindsay on we're super stoked to bring you somebody different. So make sure you guys tune in next week, check that out, and check out the Chilling podcast, available on all streaming platforms.
Oh, one more thing, if I may, ladies.
You may.
While I still have you here, this will already be running, so the whole thing with this Bango Skank is dead deal is I'll have a post on Instagram. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. I'm going to honor the legacy of Bango Skank here. I want to do a giveaway. So just comment on this post that'll be at the top of my page with your favorite clown. Tag a friend. Hey, Leah Pettibone, Pennywise is my favorite clown, right? That'll get you in. I'll randomly pick a winner on February 9th. I will also be ending at the same time as the 23 Demons when the last 23rd Demon comes out. And I will paint up the clown that you commented on a mask that you will get. And I will maybe throw in some goodies for your friend that you tag. Maybe some eyeballs, finger blasters, some fingers, things of that sort. So, but you don't get to pick the mold or what it goes on. It's not your choice. So maybe it'll be on a Bango. Maybe it's on a Bloody Johnny. Maybe it's on one of the new ghouls, right? Maybe it's maybe I put on a fucking alien face. I don't know. But kind of whichever clown works best for what I have. I'll paint up that clown for you, send you that mask. It'll be a unique, personalized one up for you. And let's get some clown love going. Bango Skank was here, but now Bango Skank is dead.
Dead.
So.
Dead as a doornail. But surprises are fun. So
Yeah.
enter in that giveaway.
All right, folks. Well, that's all from us for tonight's episode. If you guys have hung on through this extra long premiere episode of season 2, episode 30 of Dead Bitches Brunch, we appreciate you all so much, and just know that we are working very hard behind the scenes to bring you the best show that we possibly can, and to kick it and have a good time with you guys. So until next time, everybody, stay dead.